Hey, how are you?
Uh,
Doing well. I love the premiere and I've loved the show, so I want to get started with Carl. Butcher's kind of on a ticking time. He's on a clock this season. So as he approaches his own mortality, as he approaches the end of the show, would you find him more dangerous leading up to the end of the show as he has nothing left to lose, or does he actually have a lot left to lose based on his actions in the premiere?
Yeah, listen, at the point we find Butcher in season five, the stakes couldn't be higher. It's a desperate situation. Homelander is ostensibly on a track to turn himself into an immortal god, and that is bad news for humanity. So, yeah, you're right. Butcher is in a situation where he does have nothing left to lose. He has become the monster in order to defeat the monster, and his struggle is really kind of not only to see to the job at hand as he sees it, but then also to sort of try and hold on to the last vestiges of humanity that is still alive within him.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Laz, MM's kind of been the de facto leader of the boys the last few seasons, and especially as Butcher's gone crazier and crazier. So it's like, but he's really at a low point when the season picks up. He's kind of lost some of that optimism that kind of drove him. He's lost some of his the people he cares for. So it's like when the season picks up, where would you say MM is and kind of leading toward the end game? How do you get him to where he needs to go?
I would say we find him at his lowest point. Being a freedom fighter isn't always going to be sunny days and beautiful roses and gardens. You're gonna have some really ugly, dark days, and that's what we wanted to show. We wanted to show someone who has put his best foot forward, has literally done everything that he felt was right by the book, the way it should be done, and even still, you lose. Even still, these evil bastards continue to wreak havoc on innocent people who just want to live their lives. And that is discouraging. And so, how do you deal with that? How do you process that? Do you continue to fight or do you just say, screw it? So that's where we find him in that moment.
Yeah,
He's pretty
absolutely.
much given up hope.
Mhm. And Carl, you get so many fun. So you had to repair some relationships first with MM, with Huey, and then you also have this whole dynamic with Homelander, where you're trying to kind of you guys are heading toward the showdown that we hope to see. So how has it kind of been like for you to navigate all these different dynamics as you're being asked to do all these things before it's all said and done?
Well, I just had a lot of fun, not only with this character, but particularly with this season. The boys are sort of reunited again, so we have, you know, all of these characters going on these adventures together, and which is how it was in season one and season two before they sort of got fractured a little bit. Um, and I really feel like this season is like a fuse that's being lit, and once it's lit, it just doesn't stop. Just on you know, a sort of a crash course to this big finale, and buckle up because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Laz, you do talking about getting MM without getting into spoilers, there is this big rematch that happens in the premiere. Without spoilers, what does that sort of battle mean for MM as we head toward it's like does this help him get his bit of his groove back?
Yeah, I mean, I think that first and foremost, MM sees this particular adversary as someone who is a serial uh, disrespecter. And not just to me, but you see it as he's abusing everyone the same way. Um, so for him, that's when you kind of start seeing glimpses of the old MM is still there, uh, going after the bully. Like, how dare you? Um, and there was definitely some selfish reasons in there, as well as though these guys have a history now for the last 4 seasons, picking on me for no reason. We'll just call it that.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, so yeah, it was a good fight.
Yeah, it is. And it's been awesome watching you guys kick ass for the last 5 seasons. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing how it ends.
Thank you.
Thank you.